We of course have the Valhalla post-launch content trailer talking about multiple free seasons and also season pass expansions that will be coming to the game. But Ubisoft will also release some other features that they haven't 100% announced yet. They only teased them a little bit. So in this video I want to look at these upcoming teased features, and I will also speculate about when we can expect them and also what they might entail. So a ton to go over. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And let's go. Every week you have a new chance to win 2,300 Helix credits in my giveaway, and you can enter via the link in the pinned comment, and be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter, and I will announce the winner during the weekly reset video on Tuesday. Okay, let's start with New Game Plus that I know a ton of people want, including me, but the weird thing is that Ubisoft never openly said that this feature is coming to Valhalla. While of course Origins and Odyssey both had it after launch. And for Odyssey, Ubisoft even confirmed that it was coming in the post-launch content trailer because it was such a requested feature for Origins. So it's really kinda weird that we have no word on it yet for Valhalla. The only Ubisoft comment we have on New Game Plus so far was back on December 5th, where Dirty Chocobo, an Assassin's Creed community developer, asked why we want a New Game Plus mode for Valhalla. And then you might be like, okay, so they are like not working on it and are asking why we want it, and then look if they will make it. But Jordan Does had a great theory during our weekly Assassin's Creed Valhalla podcast that you can of course find on any podcast service, goes live every Saturday. And he said that they were asking this to see how much of a priority they should give to this feature. And with New Game Plus, you can of course keep your progress, so your gear, level and abilities for example, and then replay the whole game. And I think that would especially be cool in Valhalla because I would love to do some story arcs again, or the whole mythical worlds again. So I totally think they will do it. I mean, it's also a relatively easy way to add a ton of replayability to your game without creating any new stuff. It's of course easier said than done, don't get me wrong, and likely also a bit harder than for Origins and Odyssey because of the loot system. Like, there are no random items that scale to your level and simply drop from chests or enemies in the world. So they actually have to find a new purpose for all the wealth that you already looted during your previous playthrough. There are totally solutions for that though. One we actually see in Immortals Phoenix Rising, another Ubisoft game of course, and from the Assassin's Creed Odyssey developers. If you in that game, in the New Game Plus mode, loot a chest that you already got during your previous playthrough, you will either get a different color of an item, which is pretty cool, or just extra resources that are needed to upgrade your character. And Valhalla could totally do that too. What if the gear chests just give a ton of iron or leather that is needed to upgrade your weapons and gear to the max level? Like, I think that would totally be worth it, because having a fully upgraded armor set is totally noticeable in terms of damage decrease. But yeah, pretty wild, right? That Immortals has a New Game Plus mode immediately at the launch of the game, while it normally takes months before we see a feature like that. Origins had the New Game Plus mode in February, so almost 4 months after the release. And Odyssey also got it at the end of February, so that was almost 5 months after launch. And I think we might have to wait even longer for the New Game Plus mode in Valhalla. Because again, that comment on December 5th implied that they were not like really working on it yet. And also the post-launch for Valhalla has been way slower so far. So I think a second half of 2021, hopefully around the summer. That would be my bet. And let's hope that we also get a reward for completing New Game Plus, or just some new items to earn. In Origins we had a pretty cool new outfit after finishing the main story in New Game Plus, while Odyssey had nothing. But yeah, let's first hope that New Game Plus is coming, period. Although it seems pretty likely. A feature we might actually see before that is being able to replay Mythical Creatures. I know, that sounds awesome, right? Before the game was out, I namely had an interview with Benoit, a co-dev game director on Valhalla, about repeatable content. And back then, I of course did not know that Valhalla would completely lack this. Like, now during the end game, there are no bosses left to challenge you, so no real need to upgrade your gear. but that seems to change during the post-launch. So let's quickly take a look at that interview where Benoit tells me about the mythical creatures in Valhalla for the first time, and also how we might be able to repeat them later on.
Now that we've hinted or revealed a bit of the mythical world that you could access through visions, at the Valka, the series, there's mythical creatures also that you could find and try to defeat, which are really hard.
Oh my, oh, okay, that sounds really cool. And those are repeatable then?
From the content, if you've defeated them, but there's eventually a way, but then again, I won't mention anything about that right now.
Well, right now, there's of course still no way to repeat these mythical fights. And I will, by the way, not show you these encounters here in this video, because maybe you did not complete them. They are part of a sort of main story through the mythical worlds, and they're also really cool. Now you see me fight Steinbjorn here instead, an optional mythical animal that is not part of the story. Now, but Valhalla, of course, had many awesome boss encounters that you could also kind of skip if you were already too powerful. Like, then you would take them out before they could do their awesome mechanics. So having a way to replay them, hopefully on multiple difficulty levels, would be more than welcome. And I would not be surprised if Benoit is hinting here at the new game mode that we get during Season 2 of Valhalla. The first game mode we get in February as part of Season 1 are the river raids, of course, which will build on Valhalla's core raiding mechanic. The mode will deliver a dynamic, challenging, and highly replayable raid experience. So this from the post-launch press release, where it's also noted that Season 2 will start in March 2021 and will have a new game mode that builds on Valhalla's core combat experience. So this could totally be that sort of boss rush mode that Benoit is hinting at. I would totally be down for that. We do have to remember though that Odyssey also had a hard mode Mythical Creatures planned as teased in a loading screen tip, but that was later sadly cancelled. So anything can happen, but a way to replay Mythical Creatures seems at least be planned for a while now for Valhalla. And by the way, we should not expect that new game mode from Season 2 in March already at the start of the season. It will likely be made, just like the river raids are now launching 2 months after the kickoff of Season 1. While Ubisoft shared no word on this yet, I also hope we get systems like the build feature from Odyssey that was added post-launch, so we can quickly change between loadouts with one press of the button and don't have to manually select gear all the time. But yeah, maybe Ubisoft should fix the stats and the gear system first. We of course know that the visual customization system is in development, that has already been confirmed. And I'm curious if we will also see something like the mastery levels from Odyssey, because the nodes that are in the game right now have very little to no impact on your character at all. I also want exciting weekly contracts, so there's a ton I hope they change and add to the game. Right now though, New Game Plus and a mode to replay Mythical Creatures seems to be planned. Although, of course, it's not 100% confirmed yet. When we know more, I will of course let you know here, so totally subscribe for way more Valhalla content if you haven't already. A like on the video would really help me out. You can check out my video on all the content that is announced for Valhalla already by clicking on the screen, or I will link to it at the end of our picture showcase, of course, that we do every end of the video. You can send in your shots via the JorRaptor hashtag on Twitter, or use the dedicated pictures channel on our Discord. And you can join the Discord via the link in the pinned comment, accept the rules, and then you are able to post. Okay, Joyce, your turn. Which pictures did you select this time?
Sup everyone, let's start with George V over on Discord, who took this action shot of Eivor in Jotunheim, ripping off the head of the Frost Giant. Love the composition and the pose here with him using the enemy's own weapon to chop it off. Nicely done. Next up, let's go higher up with Sushifu on Twitter, who took this shot of Eivor standing underneath a waterfall. This is probably one of the most incredible spots to take pictures, honestly. Like how the water is kind of split apart to show a glimpse of the wonderful area, and Eivor checking out the view. Amazing.
Really cool. Did you ever take a shot here, or?
No, I had a quest here once, but I don't remember which one it was.
I think it's in Norway. Is it like close to that legendary animal? Or oh, I think I know where it is. I think there's like a geared or like a scroll of knowledge here, but I might be mistaken.
And finally, England is not only about beautiful hills and snowy areas, but also its beaches. And Sketch created this incredible shot of the sun shining on the ocean. Love the composition with the branches lying on the sand, the shadows on the cliffs, and the birds flying in the distance. You know what this also reminds me of?
Yeah, that crab meme with like the infinite loop crab music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought of as well.
That's true.
Okay, thanks Joyce. Next video we will of course look at more screenshots, so totally send them in. Subscribe for more Valhalla content and totally check out our previous video, or actually that video on the 2021 content coming to Valhalla. Yeah, by clicking on the screen. For now we will speak to you next time, and goodbye.
Goodbye.